We're back.
We're back. Henry Castle is hitting your earphones, your speakers,
Hello to all you kings and queens out there.
and kings and queens. Aren't we the kings and queens?
We're all kings and queens in
I
our
agree.
world.
I agree.
Everyone's royal.
Woo!
We're all special.
Doesn't it feel good to call yourself a queen or a king? Maybe you don't want to be
I'll
a
take
queen.
king.
You want to be the king.
Yeah.
Understandable. But it does feel good. Yeah, I'm the queen. Or I would prefer, can I be the princess?
You can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah, Henry Castle, pick your title, post it below.
Yeah.
We can have double ups, we can have triple ups, we can have a million kings and a million queens. That's how we roll.
You can also be a duke.
The dukes, yeah.
And
Heaps of dukes. We want jokers.
when you played handball when you were a kid, is it dunce? Is that the fourth? Like you have the four squares. You got king, queen, jack, and dunce. What was the
Girls
fourth
didn't
square?
play that so much.
What was the fourth square?
I was just playing handball, not so much a character.
You didn't want to be in the fourth square because if you got out when you're in fourth square, then you have to stand on the sideline.
Does everyone know what handball is? In primary school, if people are listening in from around the world, which I know you are, I just want to explain handball. So we've got the four squares, and
You have a tennis ball.
You've got a tennis ball.
Or any type of ball, it just
Yeah.
bounces. And then you have a four
Do you have
squares.
to bounce it in your square first, and then in the other person's square?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got to cross the line into their square. If it goes outside of the big rectangle, then you're the loser.
I thought you didn't play.
No, I did, but I didn't play. I didn't play the characters. We were just playing handball. It's a really fun game. I'd play it right now if I could.
We should get a ball and start
Are you
playing
going to do a
handball.
live Henry Castle handball competition?
Yeah, tournament,
All right.
have prizes.
Yeah.
We recently got some chalk because our baby got a chalkboard. Or our toddler now. We call him a toddler.
He's my little boy baby. Baby forever.
Well, he's walking, so he's probably a
walking.
toddler now.
I'm trying to deny that he's growing up. I find it really confronting.
So he's got an easel, an art easel. So he's got chalk, so we can use that to draw our little tennis.
Yeah, little Teddy can be our...
Handball court. That game was so much fun when we were kids because it's easy to play. It's easy to learn. It's such a free game because it involves a tennis ball.
Yeah, everyone can play. No
Yeah.
one's excluded.
But it didn't feel good when you got out from the fourth square and you had to stand on the sideline and like watch everyone else play and wait for someone
So
else to
you're
get out.
talking about a rotational...
Yeah,
system.
so like you want to be in the top like left square for instance,
Gotcha.
right?
So
And
that's probably
that's
the
the
king.
safest square. Yeah, the king square is the safest square. And
Why
then
is it the safest?
queen, because it means like you have a few chances of losing before you get out entirely. So you have to go king, queen, jack, dunce, and then like so someone might just reign supreme in the king square, the top square.
What about if you're the queen and you do an arrow?
You go down to the bottom left square, like the jack square.
Yeah, and then everyone rotates upwards, except the king's at the top.
Yeah,
so
you
he
can't go
doesn't
past
move.
being king. Once
He
you're
or
in the-
she doesn't move. So we've got like girls being the king.
Yeah,
That's interesting. That's a whole
Yeah.
new world.
yeah. I don't know if I play with girls though. It was just boys only when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Girls had
okay.
germs. You know.
Oh,
Get
no,
away from
yeah, I
us.
was running away from you more so.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a fun game. I haven't played that since I was probably in primary school. Maybe a little bit in high school, but definitely
best.
primary school.
I know, why don't we just play handball anymore? They were the like good times where everything was just chilling and we were just playing games. Now it's, I don't know, do people play games at all when you're growing up in that sense where it's an actual game? You've got handball. I used to do hopscotch. That was really fun. And then I just stopped doing it. You get to high school and it's just, that's like social suicide.
To do
Could
it in
you
high school.
imagine?
Well, I was a boy. You just we
Yeah.
don't remember doing hopscotch at all.
You never do hopscotch.
No. It did look fun, though, I'll admit it. Like getting the idea of like
Yeah.
getting through all the squares and doing it.
Well, that's hopscotch, where you're hopping from square to square.
Is it 1, 2? It's got the numbers and you have to go up
Yeah.
the line.
But then you've got the game where you're jumping in between that was elastics. That's a different
I don't
thing.
know what that is.
England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, inside, outside, inside, on. And that was like, you go England, Ireland. Each time you said a country, you would bounce from the left side of the elastic band, which is being held by two of your friends around their legs. And then you hop from the left, England, and then you go Ireland, hop on the right side, hop on the left side, Scotland, Wales, and then you go inside the elastic, outside the elastic, inside, and then you've got to slam that elastic down on the ground on the gravel. However, that elastic band, it keeps going up and up the leg, so
gets harder.
That's your elastic competition. If anyone, you guys can all play it now, no matter where you are. Everyone plays elastic.
I remember doing like with the skipping rope, and two people got it, and you're in the
middle.
middle.
Rope. Look at all these games.
And
we just let go of them.
I was pretty good at that.
Well, I bet you are.
Yeah.
Good at everything.
I'm still good at skipping, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because from doing Muay Thai, you practice skipping, and you just go right at it. Although if I do it at the gym, and let's say we're doing like a cardio class, if I'm pretty exhausted by the end of it, and then you have to do skipping, and I think if you're wearing like big shoes, it becomes a bit cumbersome.
Skipping is surprisingly difficult. Like if you're told to skip non-stop, when you're a kid, you don't want to stop. You're like, let me keep skipping. But when you're an adult and you have to keep skipping, it's tiring.
Yeah, I think with all these games, I realized that I was pretty good at them, but I'm a perfectionist.
Is this like a bragging moment? Like
no, I was really good. I was really good at handball, right?
Yeah.
I was really good at skipping. I was good at a lot of the things I did.
Do you notice how you're saying that you're so good, but I'm not going down that route. I'm just...
Yeah. No, but I really did think I was good at these things. Or at least the people I was playing with weren't very good. Yeah. But whenever I did spend time on the sideline, which I did once or twice in handball.
Oh, only once or twice?
Yeah, not much. I hated it. Really I hated it. That feeling of being on the sideline. It's horrible. Not actually, like winning. So yeah, that drive to win is like strong in me. So it's But
it all started with handball, it seems.
I wonder if it's perfectionism or it's just wanting to win. It's probably a bit of both.
Perfectionism.
Yeah, well, I just want to be good at things. Like I love like improving
things. I wonder
the
relationship between perfectionism and winning. It you kind of require some degree of perfectionism. Do you to win, or maybe you don't need perfectionism? Sounds a bit like OCD. It sounds almost like a mental health disorder. I don't think you have to have perfectionism to win. I think you can be really just good at something, confident, and a balanced approach and still win. So that's interesting. It's not you have to be a perfectionist to win.
Well, you can have winners, who aren't perfectionists. So, for instance, there's a big fight on the weekend in the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Championship. So there's two people fighting, and one is from South Africa and one is from Russia.
What are their names?
So the South African guy is Strikus du Plessis, and the Russian guy from Chechnya, his name is Hamzat Chimaev. I can't believe I said all that, everyone.
That was almost like I was testing you.
Yeah.
I like hearing the names because they're always, I think we've talked about this before, they're always interesting.
Yeah, okay, so I got that out of the way. Right? So you got the South African guy.
You did good at that too.
Yeah,
you're just good at everything, Mike.
Yeah. So you got the two guys, but the champion, so there's a middleweight title fight for the championship of the world in the middleweight division. So the middleweight guy champion, his name is Drikus. So he's from South Africa. A lot of people say that his style isn't perfect. What he's doing, he isn't perfect.
Technical.
With his technical, with his striking, certain movements he makes is all not what you'd teach anybody else. Like no one's learning it that way. But he's such a great champion. He's defended the belt now twice. Against Israel Adesanya, who was the previous champion, one of the best. He's one of the greatest of all time, if not the best of all time. He's in the conversation of GOAT status. So GOAT's greatest of all time, if you don't know.
GOAT's not like, what's the sound of a goat? That.
Well, close enough.
Yeah, it's like a goat shape.
Anyway, my point though is that this guy, out of all the champions I've ever seen, he throws very unorthodox, very strange movements, strange strikes that you don't... it looks like almost someone's like playing a video game, they're button mashing a little bit.
Got it.
But his heart and his determination to win are just... you can't compare it to anyone else.
Unparalleled.
Yeah, I believe he wins. That's my prediction anyway. Sophie usually has a prediction for...
Based on the moon, right? Yeah. Everything. As you guys might all be coming to terms with. I wonder... Yeah. No, I don't think we can use the moon to predict the UFC. Do you think? No.
Yeah, you can give it a shot. Who do you think will win then?
I like Drikus.
Yeah, that's
I like his name.
Hamzat's good, but he's undefeated.
I know, he's very scary.
He looks just like he's, I think it's the wolf or whatever he is, and he's just, he's crazy. Like, yeah, he just, he went on a streak during COVID. He beat everyone, like 4 people in a year. It was the closest winning of anyone's ever done back to back. So he just kept getting in the ring and fighting and so forth. But yeah, it's a really big event, this one on the weekend. So I'm very excited.
So Drickus is not a perfectionist. It's interesting because maybe some people look like they're not perfectionists, but they in fact are, and he might have his own markers that he's trying to hit or recreate. It's interesting with fighting, the idea of perfecting fighting. People, when I'm watching the UFC, I don't understand what they're doing at all.
They're definitely...
But there's obviously a system in place.
Levels.
There's lots of levels, training, sure. So there is some idea of things could be perfect versus imperfect.
He has he's obviously a big guy, so he's big for the division, but he's strong. He's got great cardio, so he can last the 5 rounds. He's not gassing out. He's not getting tired as it goes on. He's always looking to finish the fight. He's not looking to just get out to a decision and just sort of point fight and just sort of not get involved and manage it. He's like, I'm trying to take the other person out, and that's what makes him great. I think it's also just something in like the heart, whatever that is. It's hard to define it, but there's a heart you can see in different people when they're playing sports.
There's a story behind the fight. Like there's a story behind their training, like their journey into fighting.
But that desire to win, that hunger to win.
Where does that come from, do you think?
I think everyone's got their own...
Why? Like their reason? Yeah,
their own version of it, but I think just some people have more than others of that drive to win and be the best at something in the world.
What do you think that's influenced by?
I suppose...
Do you have that yourself?
I'm a perfectionist, yeah.
What do you think drives that?
I think when I realised when I was younger, I really enjoyed doing something well. If I could do something well and people were pleased by it, I go, oh, wow, that felt good. Impressing people.
Yeah, like you get like a clap, like, yay!
But I think I impressed myself though that I could do it well. And I'm always looking, I always think you can improve anything. That brings us to, is it MrBeast? Yeah, MrBeast. Yeah, he's the best. So obviously everyone knows who MrBeast is.
He's another goat.
Yeah, he's the goat of YouTube. Yeah,
so many goats.
He's my idol at the moment. I love MrBeast.
I love him too.
I'll get a t-shirt.
Yeah. I didn't know much about MrBeast, and then you've shown me some videos.
What a great guy. The stuff he's doing is amazing. We were watching a video of him bringing wells to 2 million people in the world who don't have clean water.
We wanted to get involved in that. That's great.
They were drinking water out of a puddle, and it was just dirty water.
Had bacteria, probably,
Yeah, they looked at it in the cup, and it was just... not
salmonella, but that's from chickens, I think. It's
so, we live in Australia, so for us to just see something like, we all have water through taps here. No one's missing water in Australia. Yeah, there's nobody without water.
But what a great initiative.
Yeah, it's just hard watching it.
It's hard to even, we're not thinking about that day to day here in Australia. We just have clean water. We even complain about our water. Yeah. We say that our water's got fluoride in it, and we don't want the fluoride in it, or we do want the fluoride in it.
Pour us without fluoride water and fixing our teeth. If we have teeth decay.
There's some dilemma around our clean water. Yeah, so first world problems. Yeah. And we're not thinking about... it's that sense of being powerless when thinking about those big issues that are happening. And it's hard to know where to get started. But MrBeast has. It's super cool. They were great videos.
Yeah, so he's obviously the biggest YouTuber of all time. He has 420 million subscribers. His videos are basically, if you haven't watched them, it's just he does a little contest, so it goes for about 10-15 minutes. He'll say, everyone stand in this circle, and I'm going to make the circle smaller over the next 2 hours, and whoever's left in the small circle wins $50,000 or whatever.
But it wasn't over 2 hours, it was over 24 hours.
Oh yeah, well,
that's the challenge.
Yeah, so then people drop off and they get small in there, and you gotta go to the bathroom or whatever happens.
You're hungry.
I wonder how they do that in the bathroom.
It looks a little bit like, I want to go to the bathroom. It's like in high school, everyone wanted to go to the bathroom. Yeah.
But so he's giving out money to people. So regular people are winning large amounts of money, and then he's giving a lot of money to charity and starting up charities. He's doing so many things to help people, and that's what's making him bigger and bigger and better. And
Yeah.
it's just a different paradigm or method of doing things than in the past. You never saw that before.
Yeah, he's like come up with this new idea, a new way to offer content, but he's leaning on the idea that if you give back to others, then the world gives back to you. And I think what a perfect example.
But I feel like by watching him, it's almost like you're helping the world by watching him. Because by watching him, you're generating views and ad revenue for him, which then gives him more money to give out, to then give back to charity, then to build more wells in the world to help more people. So it's...
Yeah, great.
It sounds funny to say, I was watching a MrBeast video and I was helping the world, but essentially you are.
Yeah, true.
You know,
yeah.
so like it'd be great for us to sort of get involved and do something like that, I think.
Yeah, something like MrBeast.
I think so. I think if you can help...
The problem is, like, I'd love to go to India.
You can't build a well.
No, but I want to go to these countries where people need help over there with, like, there's like a lack of food and there's so many. Sorry, I'm thinking, where would I even start talking about some of the challenges? But yeah, I would love to go over, but I'm not able to because I've got this stupid low immune system from the medications I take. I like to just update each episode in case you haven't tuned in previously, but I've got multiple sclerosis. It's an illness, a disability that affects the brain and the spine, and I've got to be on this intense medication, and then I can't travel. So we'll have to think of another way apart from visiting the country to help. So it might need a bit of time to brainstorm. With
the medication Sophie takes, it lowers her immune system.
Yeah.
There's a list of countries in the world she cannot visit.
I can't go to Bali. That's like Australia holiday destination 101. Everyone goes to Bali, but you know who hasn't been to Bali? Me. I haven't been, and I really want to go. And like Indonesia sounds great.
Well, maybe MrBeast fixes the world and then cures all the diseases everywhere, and then you can visit and you won't pick anything up.
Please help.
Yeah.
Go MrBeast.
But yeah, so I've just been loving like watching some of those videos and just hearing him talk about why he's doing it. It's amazing.
It's funny because he started doing these videos, if I recall correctly, from one of the videos, he said he started originally because he didn't want to... Did he finish school? I don't think he did. He just wanted to make money in his own way, and he had this vision. He just got started. And look where it's ended up. He's like, school's not for me. I'm going to do something different, and everyone doubted him. But he's like, watch me. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the biggest, and no one will ever be able to catch me. And like, what?
What a perfectionist.
What a perfectionist.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I go back to this idea that with achieving things, I don't think you have to be a perfectionist. So I don't know if necessarily, when I look at MrBeast,
he admits he's a perfectionist.
He admits he's a perfectionist.
Yeah, he's not just fluking anything. He says he
doubles down.
He spends all day working on his videos and his ideas, and he said if anyone started to even get close to him, he would sleep less and do more and make sure that he keeps that gap between them. When he first started out, he said he'd wake up in the morning at 7, he'd be awake till 10 at night, just talking with people who were interested in the same things as him of YouTube. Yeah. And always thinking, how can we just improve every day, improve every video. So that's perfectionism. I agree, you don't have to be a perfectionist to be a winner.
I don't think still, even if you are so dedicated that you are staying up all night and you're dedicating all of your time and energy towards something, that to me still, I don't associate that necessarily. I associate that with dedicating yourself and having a vision and working hard. But I think the idea of perfectionism, I'm going to say that I don't think he would have achieved what he's achieved with being a perfectionist, because I think that would have held you back.
Well, he says that, it's never perfect. You can always improve something. There's never a perfect video.
MrBeast is all about, and it's been inspiring for us with creating our podcast that we're sharing with you, that he doesn't perfect necessarily the episode to the degree that he keeps thinking about it and spending time and extending.
You could get lost in trying to perfect something. He said some people spend 3 months before they upload their first video trying to perfect it. You need to just keep doing more videos or writing more books.
Delivering a high standard, doing your best, improving, but I think the idea of perfection is...
There's probably a percentage. Like, let's say, like, if in your head, I could make this perfect video, right? And that's 100%.
Yeah.
You probably need to, like, bring it down to, like, the 80%, 70% range.
Saying...
And then go, okay, that's good enough. And then it's like, so with our show, there's things that I can think of that we could do to make it more perfect than it is. But I've gotten on the idea that I just want to perfect one thing or 1 to 2 things per episode, right? I don't want to skip ahead and try and do 20 things each time.
Once again, I think we're using, like, the idea of perfect. He's said himself, perfect doesn't exist. And so it's, like, within...
Well, what would perfect be? Perfect would be that every single person ever would watch his video and think it was the best video of all time. That would be perfect, right?
Yes.
Which is impossible because...
Can you imagine? That's never going to happen.
Yeah, so... So it's unrealistic and it's unfair, but I think you can get pretty close to making something really good.
He's got very close. He's proof that he's achieved some version of perfection. If we could achieve what he's delivering with his videos, then that's Anyway, no, I stand by my argument. I think... Are we in a debate? Not really. I think we're...
No, I'm on board that. I think that perfectionism can hold you back. It can bring neurotic thoughts into your head. So sometimes with my writing, I would just want it to be perfect. I would spend so long doing it.
Being perfect is painful. They say beauty's pain, but perfection is true pain.
But I've written one book that I've published, and I've written another book. I haven't published it yet. But to me, that book is perfect. It's perfect. The story of it's perfect. I can't make it better.
It's almost like how you're applying the idea of perfection. Like, if you've had a vision and it's been executed in the way that you want, that's perfect. So, yeah, it's all about how you apply that concept.
Like my first book, I still think it's really good, but I would have added more things into it. Whereas the second one, to me, the actual...
What do you mean?
Just more scenes. I think it needed just more, be a bit longer. Just like, it still is really good, but when I compare it to the second one, I'm like, no, I wouldn't want to add any more scenes into the second one. The second one is, in my head, perfect from...
I agree.
My perspective. And when I read other books, I think they're perfect. That's like, I read some books by authors and I go, this is perfect. Or I watch a movie and I'm like... But I know it's hard saying something's perfect because you go, well, why is that book perfect? If that book is also like, how can you say one thing's perfect? But I think for that story of whatever it is, it's perfect. Or that, like, that moment in time that you're writing about, or...
I know what you mean. It's almost like perfection exists,
or like,
and at the same time doesn't exist. It's so
like, I'll give you another example. Like, there's a UFC fight, like the one on the weekend. Dricus might fight the perfect fight, and he might win. And you could say he fought perfectly, right? But then another guy could also fight a perfect fight in a different fight. But it's just in that time when it happened, they did the perfect thing they were capable of doing, or something. They couldn't have done better. Yeah. Does that make sense? Doesn't it?
I know. Yeah. So it's Yeah.
So I think sometimes when MrBeast, like, I think I watch some of his videos and I go, he did that exact video perfectly. He makes a game like the ring that gets smaller and smaller. And I'm watching like, how could this be any better? I don't see how it could be better.
What do you think life would look like if perfectionism didn't exist?
Ooh. Just the low standard.
Do you think it's like the fact that perfectionism exists, it pushes people? I think it does cause pain and suffering, but it still pushes people to do their best.
Yeah.
I wish perfectionism didn't exist, because it can be applied to so many different areas. And if you're someone who suffers from like body dysmorphia, like, in that little group, there's this idea of image that is perfect, and people strive so hard to create this perfect image of themselves, but then sadly they'll never be able to create it, because as we're exploring, I think we can conclude still perfectionism, it isn't real. And it's sad that sometimes it can be so
you mean you can't achieve it, or...
No, I think, especially, I suppose I'm referring to something where people have a mental health disorder. So it's almost like they're building up an image in their mind, and it's not based on reality.
Okay.
So yeah, that's quite a specific one.
Yeah, I suppose if someone does have an OCD or something about something needing to be perfect so that can happen, and if it's not perfect, it can't happen, it would really hold you back in life. You'd always be never doing or like chasing your dreams. You'd always be, I think when I was a kid, I've told Sophie this story before, but I'll say it again. I wanted to write a Sonic the Hedgehog book, like kind of like a compendium or whatever you call it of all the different characters that you come across. And I would always start the book and I'd want to start doing the S at the beginning, and I'd want to do this like really good S to start the book, and I'd do the S and it would just go wrong and I'd have to start again, and I'd keep doing it, and I couldn't even get the S right. I'd like, because I'm not good at drawing like that. So, but that perfectionism was ruining my life at 7 years old. And I wish I just had just gone Sonic and just in the worst way, and then just filled out a book of just all the characters and wrote all about them and just got on with it.
I'm sure most people and people listening and watching, I feel as though it's such a shared experience. However, I don't think everyone suffers from perfectionism.
Clearly.
No. They don't.
No.
I don't think so. Do you think life is better for people who don't suffer from perfectionism?
Ooh.
I'm using the word suffer, so, so probably is better.
I don't know. If you're like really a perfectionist and you become the best at something, or the best basketballer, or world champion, UFC fighter, or the best content creator on YouTube.
Perfect.
You got a pretty good life going on there. But they might say, it's hard being me. I don't sleep much and I'm always scared that someone's going to throw me off the top. That's a lot, So that's what,
The pressure of perfectionism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're kind
Perfectionism's exhausting.
I feel like we're perfectionists with nothing to lose, really.
We've got like our mental sanity. I think everyone has that to lose.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like there's a competition really with anyone.
We're like in competition with ourselves.
Yeah. Like I played handball and I won, so like that was good.
It is so good.
Yeah. Skipping, I guess you're versing yourself, so
yeah,
that was pretty good
skip away forever.
I wasn't great at other sports, but like if anyone knows, like, I wasn't good.
Are you trying to relate with everyone now?
I suppose maybe I was picking and choosing what I was good at. Like, I was being perfectionist at that thing.
The funny thing is, though, if you're really good at handball, like, where did that get you in life?
There's professional handball people out there.
But you're just really good at it, and you're telling everyone about it now.
I wasn't nurtured in the right direction. I had people championing me.
Yeah.
I played too much video games to be good at sport. Perfectionism, but I was great at those video games. I was real good. The best.
But then were you on Twitch? Twitch is the computer gaming.
I'm too old.
That's like you're too old.
I was too old. Like in my time, my heyday of video games. It doesn't cross. It's hard. Like
it started too late.
There's guys.
We could have been really rich. Twitch is like awesome for making money.
I was pretty good at Call of Duty, but there are people that are way better at Call of Duty.
Perfectionists.
Yeah, you can say you're a perfectionist, but I suppose some people might be perfectionists at everything they try. I'm not that way.
Maybe some people are just naturally perfect. Like Michael.
No. Yeah, looking back, there's a lot of things I'm not great at doing. But
really?
some things I really invest a lot of thought into doing.
Yeah.
So
I think it's interesting when you raise a child and you have to... Well, with life experience, we've all gone through, as we've been discussing, not everyone's a perfectionist, but a lot of us have gone through moments where perfectionism has held us back or we've suffered from it. And it makes me think, when I've reflected on those experiences in my life, I think about how do I want to raise my little baby, my little boy, and I... to
become a middleweight champion of the world.
Perfectionist. No, it's literally the opposite. I tried so hard.
We're going to beat up.
I just want him to kind of like, is it like roll with the punches? I want him to just just to like go with the flow.
Perfectionism, son. If you're watching this, Strive for greatness.
Yeah, no, I want him
Be
to
the best.
I want him to be great, but I know he will be great, and I don't think you have to be a perfectionist. I think being a perfectionist causes suffering.
Yeah, you can be dedicated, and you can say, like, close enough, good enough, and then work on something else and be really good at lots of different things, and maybe not the best at everything or one thing, but you're really great at everything. But maybe just a perfectionist at being great at everything. So
sounds exhausting.
because like, let's say as a UFC fighter is really good at one skill set, they get in trouble. You got to be able to do it all. You got to do most things. So if you just do jiu-jitsu, which is really good, if you're an expert, if you're just a perfectionist at jiu-jitsu, but you can't throw punches, you're going to get in trouble in a UFC fight. So it's better to be across the board better at everything. If you could like put all the bars at like 80% instead of like one at 100 and the others at like 40, it's better that way.
Yeah, more balance. And I think like when I went through primary school, high school, university, working in advertising agencies for a fairly short period of time because of the diagnosis. But during all of those phases where you were on set to deliver an outcome, whether it be really good marks or whether it be you're in an advertising agency and you've got to supply competitive reviews or an advertising plan, I always just worked my butt off and slaved, and it was kind of like I was working really hard, and there's a point where you can work hard but not get carried away with excessive it's like that repetitive focus on something, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to
OCD.
I think it's almost OCD.
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Obsessive compulsive disorder, which a lot of people joke about. I remember being like around different social situations where OCD was a bit of a joke.
It's always like someone like picking up the phone 3 times. Or like
and on the television it's like you've got to clean the doorknobs and like you've got to like
some people
close the door
can clean their hands until like they rip the skin off because they just clean their hands all day. Like it's horrible. It's it's an illness, definitely.
Yeah.
I think you want.
But I think there's that link between OCD and perfectionism because I know that the level that I've worked at, especially once I was in uni and the workforce, I just didn't have to work that hard. Like in terms of, it's like an uber focus and like beyond what everyone else is doing. But like I think people with perfectionism, and there is definitely a link with OCD. I think if you've got true perfectionism, it's not even a clinical word, perfectionism, but it definitely relates.
I want our baby to be happy, but it doesn't matter what I want. It's just what's going to happen is what's going to happen. He's just going to grow up and be who he is.
So as parents, we can definitely guide a child
you can
be the role model. We're imprinting on little Teddy.
How much influence you can have over someone's perfectionism, I'm not sure.
I was just a perfectionist. Like my parents were always, the best thing that used to drive me as a kid was try your best, and that was the only advice and encouragement that I was really given, along with the like you're really smart and like all the different praises that I was given as a child. But the idea was do your best, and that's all they wanted. But I took that and I was like, you want to see my best? Well, watch this. Because I would just like go beyond. I'd be in kindergarten asking the teacher to do a speech. I was 4 and I was like asking to do a speech, and I would write it out about my cat and then I would deliver it to the class. I was 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. And I would practice that speech in front of my parents.
Some kids can't even spell cat at that age.
Like, that was just me. And my brother, he's smart, but he's not a perfectionist. He can hold his breath a really long time, and I can't. And I think that might have something to do with it.
He does have 3 cats
now. He's really
now.
relaxed.
He does have 3 cats now.
Like a crazy cat. Cat man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just, obviously, if you think your perfectionism serves you in a great way, like if I think it does help me.
Yeah.
I like improving things I do. So for me, it's good, but I'm not hurting myself. I've realized sometimes I started to do things like I would close door handles a few times just to check. I'd like, is it shut? And I'd keep checking if it's open. And I'm like, you just checked. What are you checking again for? Check again. Check again anyway.
Were you scared of a robber?
No,
I
don't care. Like sometimes I'm just like, I'm not sure. Like I think it's just, it happens. It's just like a habit in the motions of going about your day. Or you just want to like have like things lined up a certain way on your desk, or you put things in a certain
even the
order.
way that Michael's, he's producing the podcast, Michael's got a list of all the different actions to do in the setup, in the after the episode's recorded, and it looks a bit like OCD. But also not. It just looks like a really good plan.
Yeah.
So there's like, where is the balance? And I think some people are better at finding that than others.
Well, if you miss out some of the things on the step, so if the camera isn't level, then the video is going to be off.
Yeah, it's got to be perfect.
So,
I think, guys, we're going to deliver perfection on this podcast.
The video should be level.
Henry Hustle, woo!
Yeah, you
The
need.
perfect podcast.
So we need bright lighting. We've got normal lighting in here. It's not orange anymore.
Every episode, everyone watching and listening, it's almost like Where's Wally? Spot the improvement, because every episode we're improving at least one thing.
Yeah.
So
well, this one was the lighting. So what's going to be next week? Have to tune in and find out. So on that note,
all will be revealed.
On that note, I think we'll end it there.
Yeah. Then do you think it's a perfect time to end?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect time to end.
Perfect. Do you think we spoke perfectly and talked about all perfect topics?
Probably the best podcast about perfectionism ever recorded.
Do you think it was perfect? Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
Alright, love you guys.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you, MrBeast.
Yeah.
Love you. Love you, UFC. Love you, Chechnyan fighter and South African fighter.
Yeah, alright. Sending your love all around the world.
Alright, around the world. Love everyone.
Love you guys.
Peace out. Bye-bye.